This week on What Would Michael Do, we're going to be focusing on preparing for a high tea. You know, with all of the fascination that we Americans have with the royal family, I'm not sure why we don't have more high teas. Well, I know why, because we're Americans and we like to eat a lot. But high teas are perfect for tiny little finger sandwiches, lots of flavor, they're pretty to look at, and everybody likes them. Smoked salmon is another wonderful addition to a high tea. I'm going to do mine open face because A, salmon is really pretty, and B, a lot of bread, and people don't want a lot of bread. This, however, requires a very hearty bread, so pumpernickel, not so easy to find, either a firm whole wheat, I'm using a 5 grain, it's a very sturdy bread, anything that's dark and holds the weight, and can combat the powerful flavor of smoked salmon. You will have softened your cream cheese in advance. You're going to start with a nice thick layer. Don't be stingy with the cream cheese. Put it on nice and thick. You can go all the way to the edges, but as you probably know, in a high tea, we always trim the crusts. This bread doesn't really have a crust, but we still want a nice clean break for the end. Once your cream cheese is on, we're going to lay on our smoked salmon. Usually smoked salmon comes with a flat side, so naturally you want to put the flat side up against the flat edge of the bread. I'm going to do one on each, and then as much as I have will be used. I'm going to go back and put the second layer after that. You can buy packaged smoked salmon if you want to go the whole distance. You could have it cut for you at a deli. Nova is great. Anything smoked is delicious. This is packaged salmon just because I'm doing it in quantity, and I know it's a brand that I trust and like very much, so I know it's going to work just fine. Don't be stingy. If you overlap the salmon, that's absolutely fine. This is an open-faced sandwich, so you don't want to skimp on the cream cheese or the fish. I've also let the salmon temper a little bit before I start working with it because it's just easier to work with, just like cream cheese. You want it to soften before you use it. I'm going to put the other flat side up against the flat side of this. So most of this will be double thick, which is absolutely what you want. You want a nice slab of salmon on top of that cream cheese. Once your salmon is all laid out, it's time to cut and trim. I'm going to move this over and show you on this single one. Let's cut these babies down. Make sure you have a real sharp knife. I just sharpened mine. Yours should be sharpened too. And a good idea to have paper towel ready in case you get smoked salmon or cream cheese all over it. First things first, we're going to gently trim off the edges. All 4 edges, all the way around. If there's a big hunk like that, no, that's a good nibble. Now for my perfect little triangle, I'm going to cut this in half. And I'm going to cut these each in half on a triangle. Then cut those triangles in half. And there is my perfect little bite-sized tea sandwich, also perfect for an hors d'oeuvre. This is going to get one little caper and a little sprig of dill, and just before I serve them, I will grate some lemon zest on top. So easy. Well, look at this. We've made a high tea, sandwiches of every variety.